Welcome to the PTFO podcast, an hour-long debate of this week's hottest topics by four random guys whose opinions don't matter and are entirely unqualified to give you any sort of life advice. Here are your hosts, Bernsey, Jimmy, Kyle, and Colby.
And welcome back, everybody. Today is special. Well, it's special for two reasons. One of those reasons being Kyle is not here, and that's special to me. I think it's funny that he's not here because we have replaced him with somebody better. And he'll watch this and he'll understand completely. And it's really cool because this guest that we have is actually kind of part of PTFO history. And I'm just going to let you introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself because there are people listening that do remember you off the original PTFO podcast.
Okay, hi.
Wow, Jimmy,
I just totally put you on the spot.
Yeah,
on the spot.
So my name is Laura, but I guess if you have been listening to this since, it was 2012, I think, you would probably remember me as Ashley, aka PTFO Gets Tits.
Yes.
So
if you're new to it, back in the day, we used to troll people on Twitter, and did we have everybody come tweet you? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you guys thought I was a porn star.
That's what it was.
That was the goal of the show back there too. Yeah,
you sent everyone listening to spam my Twitter, and I checked my Twitter, and suddenly it was absolutely blowing up with people saying, write PTFO live on your tits and send a picture. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I ended up looking at it online, and I was like, hey, these guys are funny. Fuck it, I'll do it. So I wrote PTFO live on my tits and tweeted you guys a picture, and history was made.
Absolutely.
I don't even remember how we found you. Who was it?
I think someone just suggested it in the chat.
I would have.
We looked up. Who was it? Bree Olsen. We got the hot block from her really
blocked,
quick.
We got blocked real quick by her.
That's Charlie Sheen's ex, right?
Poor sportsmanship.
Yes, absolutely. But what was really cool is it didn't really stop there because we, at that time, like Laura said, we thought she was a porn star. So she writes it, and I know it was trending on Twitter that night. I don't know if it was worldwide or US wide, but the hashtag PTFO got tits was trending. And so we invited her to come on the show, and the pleasant surprise was that she was actually a video game fan. She was actually a video game enthusiast to the point where she could hold her own in a conversation. And and I'm not stereotyping all females, but there are a lot of females out there that put off like they know about video games and they don't know shit. And we got her on the podcast, and she actually could hold her own in a conversation about video games, which was kind of like a double bonus. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I try.
You try? So are you gaming right now? I looked the other day, and you're doing Twitch streams?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch pretty much every day.
Wow. What are you streaming?
Right now I've just started playing Infinite Warfare again, to sort of get back into it for the new map packs that come out today. I was replaying Borderlands recently, and I play like a lot of survival horror. I do like, a thing called Spooky Sunday, where every Sunday I play like Outlast or Resident Evil or something like scary in the dark. So that's fun.
Have you done the new Resident Evil 7?
I'm halfway through it.
Is it as good as everybody says it is?
It's really good. And I'm a Resident Evil snob. Like, I'm someone who's very much a fan of like the early ones. I don't think anything will ever top 2 and 4, but I am a Leon Kennedy fangirl, so I'm biased. But I thought 5 and 6 were terrible. But this one's actually really good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good feedback about it from fellow YouTubers that are doing Let's Plays on it. Like, it's legit scary.
It's really fucking scary.
Yeah, you don't find very much in video games.
I tried playing Outlast once, and I got through the first 2 levels, and that was enough for me.
Outlast is terrifying. I'm right at the end of that one, and it's so scary.
So, is Twitch streaming your main gig? Are you doing anything else?
I still DJ occasionally, and I still have like my Instagram that, I do sponsored posts and stuff. But I'm working on getting partnered on Twitch to try. I'm not partnered yet, but I'm working on that. So hopefully that can become like a full-time thing eventually.
Cool.
You got to hang out with Steve-O too.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to. I forgot about that. Tell us how that was shooting that video.
That was really fun. It was a really, really fun day. He found me on Instagram through a friend of a friend, or through a mutual friend, sorry, and he sent me a DM and he was like, I saw your profile and I saw your pictures and I just immediately had this idea that I want to bounce rubber balls into your cleavage. And he's like, would you be down to do a YouTube video? I was like, fuck yeah, that's hilarious. So we shot it a week later.
How many takes did they take? Because some of those were amazing shots.
You know what? Some of them he legit got first go.
Wow.
Yeah, some of them, like, he actually got it first try. The one down the stairs took, maybe an hour and a half, and I was so over it by the end, like, because I just had to sit there, like, kind of, like, in the right angle, so I was, like, I had a sore back, and I was just like, okay, I have to just sit this out, because, like, if he gets this is going to be the best thing ever, and he finally did, and it was amazing, so.
Is he pretty cool in real life?
He's awesome. He's a really cool guy. He's really nice.
That guy has been through some shit. Man, his body has been through some shit.
I remember watching that documentary when it was like showing all of how he did all the whippets and stuff, and I was like, man, this dude is crazy. I love this guy.
Did he like clean up his life though too? He used to be like big time like alcoholic and drugs, and now he's clean.
Yeah, completely.
You can't say that he hasn't been living life. That is for sure.
I think
Twitch
he's lived
streaming
several lifetimes. Trying to,
well, cool. And you just do DJ gigs on the side?
Yeah, I kind of, when I first moved to LA, I've been living in LA officially for a year and a half now. And I was DJing for a while, but I think I've been DJing kind of a lot for a few years now, and I'm just a bit over like the drinking and I don't know, once I moved here... Are you
calming down in your years, Laura?
I am a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I still get drunk on Twitch, but it's not quite the same as, like, having to travel and then flying at 7 a.m. with a hangover. Like, it's, that
the
shitty
hangovers
stuff.
get more and more brutal the older you get, too.
They do.
Yeah, they last days now. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think I have one once every 6 months, and... literally, and when it goes, like, we'll go to Vegas or something, and it's really bad, like, just getting plastered at the 3-card poker table for like 8 hours without even standing up, and then when it's over, the next day I'm like, I'm never fucking doing this again. Me and Ashley, my wife, we're done. We quit.
But no one likes a quitter, Jimmy. No one likes a quitter.
Man, that next morning is just...
hangovers are horrible.
Yourself. Yeah, you're like, why... would I do this to myself?
The worst thing is there's no cure. You can't cure it. The only thing you can do is to start drinking again. But then at some point, the thing no one tells you when they tell you to do that is you're gonna end with one. So you might as well just
take it.
Coconut water or Pedialyte. Perk you right back up.
I don't know. When it's really bad, though, I don't think anything can help it. Like, unless you said drinking again, but eventually you do have to face the reality. And when you've kind of stacked hangover on hangover, they tend to get pretty bad.
That's why cruises are the worst for that one reason, because you stack it, then you come back on that flight, and you're like, if I don't have something here, this whole entire airline is going to see my vomit.
Well, what really gets me, though, is, like, I'll do it once every half a year or year, and I feel like I'm just in the pits of hell, and then I think about people that do it every day or every couple day or every week, and I'm like, how do you even function? How do you even bounce back and go through the normal strokes of life during the day? It's just...
Used to be able to do it in college. Like every day you could do it.
Yeah, I used to be able to back it up real good. Like, I got drunk 3 nights in a row last week, and by the third one, like, when I had to go out, I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But I did, and I got really drunk the third night, and then by, like, Saturday morning, I was just like, okay, this is real bad.
What was it off of?
Tito's?
It was, I went on dates on Wednesday and Thursday night, like 2 different guys, because I'm trying to like put myself out there, So I went on dates and just drank a lot of cocktails and tequila shots the second night. And then Friday night I went out to a dubstep show and I drank everything. So, yeah.
Laura's got her Tinder game going, right? Don't you?
No, I don't use Tinder. I use Bumble. It's slightly higher quality than Tinder, but... Same
Still
shit.
awful, though.
Yeah, it's still terrible.
Burns had an experience with Tinder. We talked about on
Yeah,
the show.
that was in the first episode. Yeah, that shit's awful.
I mean, he had one date. She came to his house, and didn't you say she started talking about like marriage and stuff at the end?
Yeah, after all the fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I had
date
to-
one, complete strangers.
Well, I wouldn't even really call it a date.
But you did
Damn.
take your sunglasses.
I do have her sunglasses in that photo.
So
yeah.
he had to pull the old get his friend to call with an emergency.
Yeah, I had to pick her up. And
Wow.
then,
I've
it was
never
like-
heard of a guy having to do that.
Yeah, she was at my place from like 12 till like it was like 8 o'clock at night, so I had to like make up an emergency. To get
Oh
her
my
out.
God.
I mean, I probably could have just told her it was time to leave, but I had to lie for some reason.
Yeah.
You're not a complete asshole, I guess. So if you're new to the show, really quick, let's plug where we are at everywhere. We try to get out on all the platforms we can. You can hear us on YouTube, on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Facebook right now. But the big one for us is iTunes. If you happen to listen to us on iTunes or subscribe to the podcast over there, be sure, if you would, to leave us a review and a rating over there. We read those reviews, and we are trying to grow over there. And that's our focus. You can find us wherever you want. We'll probably end up on a couple other platforms that people are requesting as well. But all those will be in the description. And we've got some stuff to talk about today. So now that we have caught up with Laura, and once again, it was really awesome of you to agree to come on again and everything come full circle. It's a little different vibe this time. We're not live streaming or calling. Did we call hookers when you were on that show?
I don't think so, but we were definitely who were we calling? I
We
can't
called somebody,
remember.
didn't we?
We definitely were making calls. I can't remember who, but we definitely made calls.
We'll have
Yeah.
to go back and look at that episode. and see
I wonder
what it is.
I wonder if there's a genre.
Was it one
of-
or two? Did you come back for another one? Or was it just that one?
I think I just did one, but it felt like two because there was the other one that was
Yeah.
all about you guys getting the photos. So
You want to know a crazy small world number 2 story? Is I've written about you on my site 4 times, and this is our first time meeting.
really,
Yeah, the Harambe tattoo. You and your
yeah.
friend exposing people for sliding in your DMs, and
yep.
drum roll, the Steve-O video. So kind of
Oh
funny.
yeah, I've done a lot of shit that kind of went unintentionally viral. So
I think the Harambe one did the best because it was like the perfect time for it. The Harambe stuff was still so popular, and then
Yeah.
the title was pretty easy. Like, you know, girl
They
gets
probably
the-
him and Kyle probably had a good hand in some viral stuff for you. They do comedy.com, which is they
okay.
get some massive stuff over there, which is cool that he knew who you were when me and Burns mentioned, hey, we should get Laura to be the
Oh,
first
the
guest on here. He's
Harambe
like,
dick pic girl.
Yeah.
the
Well,
Harambe
it was.
girl.
Yeah, it started with check her out. And I'm like, wait, why have I seen these pictures before? And it's like, oh, I'm the
sounds
creep that
familiar.
had to go through all of her pictures to find the best one for the thumbnail. And then I put that on. And I was like, oh, I know this girl. And then I searched the site, and I'm like, oh wait, she's this girl. This is crazy.
Yep.
All right, Burns, we've got some topics to talk about, and I know Colby has he's going to put Laura in the hot seat with some rapid fire questions later on. We're going to have our life advice at the end as always, and what is up first?
Well, we are a random podcast. We just talk about whatever we feel like, and I just picked this one out of a hat. What is the craziest conspiracy theory you've ever heard? And what is one conspiracy theory you think might be true? Colby, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll do with I'll do the craziest one, or I'll do the one I think might be true first, and this is a pretty simple one. It's just the moon landing, and this is for me one of the first shows, like first one I've ever heard. Like growing up, probably 7th or 8th grade, there was like True TV or this like 2-hour documentary. You couldn't get me to sit down for 2 hours anything as a kid. And I remember watching it and being like, what? And they had like 11 ways to prove it didn't happen. I mean, that's
Do you
probably
actually think the moon landing didn't happen?
no. That's the one, like the craziest one that I.
Oh,
at
the craziest one.
Yeah,
all
but
right.
at one point I did believe it, like 100% to the T. Like if I was so into it, and there was no like internet to research it or anything then. But like family would come over and stuff. I'd be like, hey, the moon landing's fake, right? And I would go through the 11 things like every time, and my family was probably just like, dude, this guy's on his way to the crazy. But that's
Word.
like it was just really well put together. And as like a kid, I hadn't seen. There's no MythBusters or anything, so someone with a platform who gives you 11 reasons why it's fake and proves it, quote unquote, to you, you're like, dude, I believe that. So that's like the craziest one. No, I don't now, just because I think a lot of the stuff that they busted even back then got like busted again. Like, oh, this is why it could happen. This is why the flag was moving. Like all that stuff. Like it was just little stuff back then. Like the biggest is just the flag shouldn't be moving. But I mean, I wish it was
one that what is a conspiracy theory that you believe is true?
This is probably not going to win me over very many friends here, but probably the 9/11 was the inside job one.
I knew that's where he was going.
Oh my God. Why would
I have
you go
to,
there?
man. I have to,
I knew
because
that's where he was going.
I'm not going to get into it too much, but what you're saying, like, just something that I believe in enough. I think it's a terrible thing to believe, but it's the same thing. Like the more stuff that I've watched and everything, and
you need to watch some debunking videos.
I know that's what I need, and that's like the other thing that sucks with like conspiracies and the way my brain thinks is I only really absorb it from that one side, and the people who are out there yelling louder, I'm the kind of person that's like...
The only response I have to anyone who thinks is like a 9/11 truther is you hear all these people say that government is just inept, can't get anything done, is just stupid, but apparently they have the ability to pull off a mass conspiracy like this.
No, that's the thing is like the people I listen to are like the ones that are yelling really like way too loud about it. Like, no, the steel beams, and then like the other thing that I just don't understand is why the other building blew up like a couple blocks away, and that's where I'm just like, well, why? And I don't know, I probably could do more research, but hey, you just
I just like when people say, well, you know, that's not what would happen when a plane crashed into a building. I'm like, okay, but how do you know that? Because when has anyone ever crashed a plane into a building before? What's your point of reference? It's not like anyone has ever built a full-scale model of that and then crashed a plane into it at that point to go, okay, that's exactly how it would fall, because I mean, I know that scientists and, you know, whatever can go, okay, well, that's probably not what would happen, but you don't really know that unless, you know, you've done it multiple times to go, okay, well, that's how it goes. And even if someone was to do it again, it might happen completely differently because it might hit at a different angle. Like, there's so many variables. So, I don't know. That one to me, I'm just kind of like, well, you don't really know that that's what happens when a plane crashes into a building. So
what is let's go with your biggest conspiracy that you don't think is true?
Oh God, like all of them.
So you're a non-conspiracy theory person.
I'm not a conspiracy
Completely.
theory
No
person.
aliens, no Area 51
so
UFOs.
I don't really consider aliens to be a conspiracy theory because I feel like aliens have to exist.
Yes, they're real. They're real.
Like this, I feel like I think it would be very naive to think that we are the only life in an infinite universe. Like I'm a science person, so I definitely like there has to be aliens out there. I don't necessarily believe in
conspiracy theory with aliens is that they visited us already.
I don't.
Oh, they're already here. They're already here. They controlled the election, guys. Come on.
Oh, well, I mean, we do have Obama did have his reptilian bodyguards, so.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, just real quick point of reference. You tell me how the Egyptians put these 20-ton stones.
Dude, I'm going to send you a 3-hour video that debunks
Whatever.
every single point in that nonsense. I don't even know why the History Channel gives them a second of their time. That's all nonsense.
So you're going to tell me next that on Shark Week that the mermaids aren't real either, right?
The mermaids are not real either, dude.
I mean, I wish they were, but yeah.
So circle back. You said that the alien one is one you don't believe, correct?
No. She says it's not a conspiracy.
Not a conspiracy.
That's a general consensus.
I said I believe in aliens in general.
Yeah. Got it. That's what I was making sure.
I don't necessarily believe in like the little, grey men with bulgy eyes that are apparently being held in Area 51. I definitely think there's some sketchy shit going on in Area 51, but that's just,
It's some sort of military stuff.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that it's, hidden alien corpses from the 1950s, so...
So you don't really have a conspiracy that you would believe, right?
Not that I can think of. Like, I've spent a lot of time watching, all the conspiracy theory videos just because I find them interesting, but I don't believe in them, the ones like the Sandy Hook one, I was just like, come on guys, like you're really clutching at straws here. Like they look for things, and I'm like, if someone was going to carry off something like that but then leave clues, why would they leave fucking clues? Like it's not a puzzle. Like,
yeah, that one, and then what was the other attack one that they said was the government too, and it's like, why? Oh, the Boston bombing one.
Yeah, and like the movie theater shootings, like that was apparently like a false flag. It's like, you know, all crisis actors, and it's like, nah, guys, sometimes like shit things actually just do happen.
People like want to believe that it's a conspiracy.
Yeah,
so
they want to believe that it's the
just
government.
Anomalies in the footage and try to spin it into a story. And people are stupid enough to believe them.
I will tell you
All
one
right,
thing.
All right, Mister lives in his bubble. What about you,
Me?
Burns? Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna play a clip here in a second. Have any of you ever heard of Alex Jones?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
You haven't heard of him, Jimmy?
I think I have.
Are you serious? This man is the most batshit insane conspiracy theorist on the planet.
He's from InfoWars, right?
Yeah.
I would probably
okay, I
love
just
it.
looked him up. I know him.
All right, no, he's fucking insane.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see if I can pull up on my phone real quick. There's a clip of him where he is going on and on about there being chemicals in the water that are turning people gay. So
Wow.
We'll cut away and edit this in, but I'm gonna play it for you guys real quick right here.
You think I am like shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
That dude is strung out.
Yeah, that's a great video.
Yeah,
Okay,
Alex
so-
Jones is like he's on a different level to the rest of us.
I honestly don't think that he's serious. I think he's a fraud.
He plays a little character now.
You say fraud, others would say entertainer.
Or satire.
Fraud or entertainer.
satire.
I don't know if it's satire. Maybe he is serious. He has like millions of viewers that come to his site, and maybe he's just taking advantage of credulity or whatever.
Or maybe it's like a cult leader.
Credibility.
Like a
well,
cult
I mean,
leader.
that 10-second clip was entertaining to me. I mean, it was
right. It's
funny. It made me
hilarious to
laugh.
watch.
Yeah, it made
It's
me
hilarious
laugh.
to watch, but it's concerning that he might be serious about it. The
And that
frogs
people
are gay.
and that people listen to him, and that a lot of people kind of listen to what he says as being like, you know, absolute truth. That's probably the most
Take him at
concerning
his
part
word.
about it. Yeah.
He's got a
Okay,
whole
Burns.
website. He's got like a whole website of survival stuff, like iodine and food. I think.
Yeah,
he's
so
a
he's
fraud.
definitely playing it.
the
He's
best
playing
you
it.
have, the best you have is you're gonna play us that, and that's the one you don't believe, that frogs aren't being.
That's just the
poisoned by
most
gay water.
batshit crazy
Come on,
one I've heard
man.
of.
What's one you believe?
All right, so one that I think that is plausible is do you remember when Michael Jordan retired for a year?
Yes, and Jimmy
Yes.
Butler's his son. Sorry, keep going.
No, not that. I don't think he actually retired. He was suspended by the NBA for gambling debt.
Really?
Gambling
I've
on
never
games.
heard that before.
And then
I haven't
he
heard
comes,
that.
and then it was just a secret way. It's like, go retire for a year. We won't make it public. And then he just comes right back a year later.
It's
So
actually,
I think that one's plausible.
I could see that actually. Yeah, that's actually, I never thought about that because it is weird that he just comes right back like nothing happened.
And was it his father that got murdered or something?
Yeah, right at that same time his father
Yeah.
got murdered in the off season, and not to
Oh.
mention that's also when he kind of got exposed for having a second wife, like 2 kids and stuff. So it could have been a lot crashing down at once.
Do you guys believe the video game conspiracy that in the original Tomb Raider you could use a code to make Lara Croft naked?
I mean,
think
I
we-
remember trying that as a kid, and I remember me and my brother really trying that, and it never
didn't work?
happened.
I think I tried that too, and it never worked.
Yeah, that
I
was a
think
big one.
I think every young gamer tried that one.
Yeah,
No,
that
Burns.
was a big one.
Burns, you should really look this up after this call. You should type in Jimmy Butler, Michael Jordan's son. And
I've seen
it's-
something about
It's
that.
the craziest thing. I mean, like, obviously it's probably not true, but Jimmy Butler's never known his dad, and there's all these, like, connections and stuff that, like, his mom had pictures
I don't
with
know.
Michael
I'm
Jordan.
like Laura. I don't believe in a whole lot of nonsense like that. Like,
All right, one that I don't believe in is I don't think that Tupac is still alive. That would
I
be
agree.
a conspiracy
I agree.
that I don't believe in. There
wish.
are plenty of conspiracies though that I think are plausible, like Burns says. I mean, there's just a mountain of evidence. And yeah, you could throw a lot of it out, whether it be UFO sightings, or I was talking about one on one of my channels the other day about this big structure that they found like 5,000 feet down in the ocean that actually had power to it. And then when they got closer, it didn't. I mean, there's too much mystery in the world to debunk everything. I mean, do I think all UFO sightings are real? Absolutely not. Do I think there are some? 100%. No doubt about it. Do I think that the government's spraying us with shit and chemtrails out of planes? No, I don't. But when it comes to the whole UFO side and the mystery of like stuff in the ocean and stuff like that, because what is the statistic? 95% of the ocean is unexplored.
The ocean is really interesting because there's definitely some shit going on down there that we don't know about.
Exactly.
Because we've just never seen it. So the ocean, I think, I don't know if I believe in conspiracy theories necessarily, but I think there's definitely a lot of shit down there that we haven't.
What about Loch Ness Monster? What about Nessie?
No.
Why is there...
I don't think I believe in that. I think they would have found that by now.
Yeah.
Why is there more stuff taking place where we're exploring space and we're not spending more money exploring the ocean? Now I'm interested.
No, we are. There's a lot of endeavors that go on with like marine biology and research and all that. Do you realize how big... I know space is vast, but I mean, here on our planet, you realize how much territory there is to cover to explore the ocean?
Yeah,
the pressure of the water once it gets deep,
exactly.
I think, is what they're struggling with.
It's completely dark. You can't do anything. You're talking miles deep. We don't know how to get down there yet.
Well, that's like the first time I realized the scale of an ocean, body of water was the MH1, that flight, the Malaysian Air. And I'm like,
they still haven't found. That was a conspiracy.
So that's a conspiracy theory.
How does an airplane disappear and never?
It's at the bottom of the ocean, man.
But that's
so?
That's where I was getting to. Is like I'd never realized the scale because as just a person watching on TV, you're like, how the fuck do you not know? Like, go find it. Just drive a boat around and find it. It's like, oh, you can't. There's a lot of space.
Doesn't exactly work that way. All right, Burns. What is our next topic? And in the comment section, if you're watching this on anything that has a comment section, or you can hit us up on Twitter, let us know your most believable conspiracy theory and your biggest one that you call bullshit on.
All of them.
All of them. All right, what's next?
No way, man. I'm a believer, but not a crazy believer.
So we were talking, Colby brought up like his whole 9/11 truth or nonsense. So instead of exhausting ourselves with that orange Cheeto in the White House, we will just talk about where were you on 9/11 and what do you remember about it?
Mine's pretty simple. I'll start. I saw it on TV. I was working. I was a sales rep at that time, and I remember seeing it, not believing it. I thought it was surreal, and I didn't really understand the impact of what was going on, I guess, fully until later on. And I just remember seeing it and thinking that it didn't hit home. It didn't hit home that it was actually happening in America and the destruction and everything until later on you see the coverage. And when you're watching it on a TV, you don't really get the sense of the grander scale of what's actually going down in real life. And that's kind of what I remember.
What about you, Colby?
I actually can remember everything. I remember I was in 7th grade, woke up, had a bowl of Life cereal, and then that's when my mom came bombing down the stairs, and she's like, turn on the TV, turn on the TV, turn on. And we turned on the TV, and the first plane had already hit, but like I still had to like get on the bus within the next 10 minutes, and she like didn't want me to go to school for some reason, but in 7th grade I didn't know what that, like she's like, no, you have to stay home. I'm like, no, I'm going to school, whatever. When I get to school, there's like nobody anywhere, and everyone's in classrooms watching it on TV.
Watching it, yeah.
But I was the same way as you, Jimmy. Like I didn't, like as bad as it sounds, like I was just like, well, are we gonna have class? Like what's going on? And but all the
you
teachers
don't really realize the scale of what's happening.
And all the teachers are just like, just sit down and watch this. Like we got to watch this. But like as a kid or 7th grade, I'm just like, what the hell? I got PE today. Like what are we doing? So,
Laura, what about you? You probably weren't here, were you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a very different experience because I was in Australia then, and I think it happened during the middle of the night for us. So I still vividly remember it though. I would have been, I don't know, I was still in school, probably early high school, I think, and I remember my mom coming in and waking me up for school in the morning, and she was like, America's under attack. And I didn't really understand it. And like, by that point, everything had already happened, and it was kind of just, it had happened quite a few hours ago, and it was just like the aftermath on TV. And I remember watching it while we were getting ready for school and saying to my mom, like, because at that time, America was such a faraway place for me. Like, it was like almost like another planet to me at that point.
Yeah. It didn't resonate like it was actually.
Yeah. But I remember all I wanted to do was like get online, because at that time, like, I spent a lot of time in the Final Fantasy chat room on Yahoo. So
I remember those chat rooms.
That was like the pinnacle of my social life through school. So I was like, all I wanted to do before school, I kept saying to my mom, like, I have to get into chat and like make sure my American friends are okay, because for me, like, the difference between New York and LA, like, there was nothing. Like, America was just a place. There wasn't, separate things. So for me, it was kind of hard to disassociate my friends who might have lived in fucking Alabama from New York. And I was like, oh my God, I just have to make sure my American friends are okay. So that's all I really remember from it.
Burns?
I was a sophomore in high school, 15 years old. I was in Spanish class. And like everyone else, like what Colby said, I was too young to really understand what was happening. Like, the teachers were running through the halls and telling us to turn on the TVs, and watching it live, they're saying it's a terrorist attack. And I didn't really understand what that meant. Like, what do you mean terrorist attack? They're attacking us for what reason? So it was kind of really hard to comprehend as someone that young. But what I do remember vividly about it is there was a girl in my class whose uncle was on the Pennsylvania plane. It was like one of the people that overtook the plane and crashed it into the field.
Oh, wow.
I remember that pretty vividly. There was like a whole vigil that we had for that. And then I think it's a little bit more surreal and hard to watch when you watch the footage today.
Yeah, I agree.
You can comprehend it.
It's really heavy to watch it now.
It is.
Yeah, like seeing people jump out of buildings is just terrifying to me. I don't know if I could ever make that choice.
I just hope I never have to make a choice. Yeah, just stay in there, jump. I don't.
Like, what do you think that's like? I mean, imagine maybe you just are forced out by the smoke and the flames.
Well, like Laura said, with the whole people saying, "Well, this is how a plane would crash into a building," but never actually experiencing it. It's the same thing with that. I don't think there's really a description that you could place on it until you're in that moment. That's like with any life or death thing. Like, I'll just give you a quick example. 2 years ago, I'm taking my family, and I believe we were going hiking. We were going to a place called Pinnacle Mountain, and it was about an hour and a half away. So we're on the interstate, and we're in a Tahoe. I've got my kids and Ashley in the car, and we're on the interstate. We're in the far left lane, and there's 3-lane interstate, and there's a semi next to us, but just a little bit ahead of us in the middle lane. And then right in front of him is this little hatchback car that just locks his brakes up. We're talking a 70-mile-an-hour interstate, and this car locks his brakes up, and so the semi obviously locks and starts swerving. So what happens in slow-mo for me, and it's hard to explain it, but the semi, the front of the cab starts coming over, and it's like creating this wedge because we're against the wall. We're in the left lane. So what's happening is I'm getting boxed in by this semi that's in front of us, that the trailer is kind of curved, and we're about to either go through the wall or hit the wall or just get hit by the semi. And I was able to somehow I hit the brakes, but I didn't slam the brakes, and I turned the wheel. Somehow I caressed us out the back end of it, which if you gave me 9 more tries, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But it was that moment. It was like super clarity for me. Everything slowed down. It was like slow-mo, and I made the right decision. So that's the closest I could get to imagining what somebody's like in that life or death situation, I guess.
Do you think that's what someone might go through when they're up in the building and they're trapped? And
I think things slow down for them.
Eventually they just accept it?
I think they make a decision.
Moment.
I just can't even think about it. It gives me a headache. Like, that would just suck.
Yeah, let's bring up
crazy.
the vibe. We're going down a dark path here. I want to talk about stupid trends, but before we do that, let's do this rapid fire thing, which I'm totally scared about because
bring it on.
We let Colby do his own project, and we don't know anything about it. There's been no vetting to this project, so...
Yeah, so
all right,
basically, little background is I get one question an episode. It's my terrible question so far. I've had 2 bad, 3 good burns, or...
He's been doing pretty good lately.
I've been getting better.
Disaster.
First one was a disaster, and I think 3 or 4 was a disaster as well. So this time, instead of doing one question, I've decided to come up with enough questions to put you on the hot seat for about 2 minutes. Just rapid fire answers, throw some stuff out there.
How many questions do you have?
There is 8 questions.
Okay, then we should, if we're going to make it a true rapid fire, you literally have 10 seconds for each question, Laura.
Okay, I'm kind of scared, but I'm excited.
I am scared. I'm scared too.
I'm scared as well. This could be a complete flop, and you guys are all going to witness it. All right, but we'll start it, the hottest 2 minutes, starting with my first question, which is, what is the worst DM you have ever received?
Oh, all of the dick pics. Actually, no, the worst one I've ever received, seriously, it makes me physically ill to even think about, so I can't even read it. But it was a really horrible message that, I can't even say, but there's been some bad ones.
I can imagine.
We'll go with dick pics.
Dick pics.
Yeah,
number
dick
2
pics.
is describe yourself in 5 words.
Oh.
Potato.
Did you say potato?
Potato.
Yeah, different kinds of potato.
This was supposed to go off the first one, but this is, what is the worst, or I guess would be the best pickup line for a guy that you've ever fallen for, or like given into? Does that make sense?
It's like the best picture I've received from a guy that made me go...
No, best
the best pickup line. Like,
best pickup line.
or the worst. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so bad, you were like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Oh, I don't know.
I have a really good pickup line to getting a girl's number on Tinder. If you're on one of those like dating apps, the best pickup line to get a number real quick is to say, if you were walking along the beach and came across a bag of money, and the amount of money in that bag was your phone number, how much money would you have?
Wow.
Oh, nice one, Burns.
Smooth.
I like that.
That is so corny.
It probably works.
It
So
does.
did you have a pickup one, or are you passing on that?
I can't think of one.
All right, passing. All right, this one's a doozy. If you had to marry any dude with over 1.5 million followers on Instagram, who are you picking?
Whew.
So they got to be semi-famous here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Nick Bateman.
Nick Bateman, check.
Yeah.
If he's listening.
We're all going to go Google Nick Bateman because nobody has any fucking clue on here who that is.
Trust me, every girl does.
Okay, all right, Nick Bateman.
Nick
Next
Bateman, you're lucky. Number 5, one hobby you're embarrassed to admit that you still love.
Singing along to country music.
Nice.
Okay, this one's a little to go off our last topic, a little more sad one. Number 6, what are people going to say at your funeral in 5 words? You don't have to do 5 words. You don't have to do 5 words.
Potato. I don't know.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I hope everyone would be sad.
Do you want him to be sad or do you want him to be happy? Like,
Actually, no, I want them to be happy. I want them
Celebration.
to be like, Laura was cool.
there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, close enough. Okay, last 2. If you had $2 million to not work for an entire year, what are you doing?
Traveling.
Traveling. That's a lot.
Where? Elaborate. Where?
Literally everywhere.
As far as many places
not
you can
like, probably not like Syria or Afghanistan,
Right,
but
right.
I would like to go on like safari. I've traveled a lot, but there's still a few places I haven't been. So like, yeah.
I feel like $2 million is going to last you a full year in traveling. It's going to be close, probably, because I would stay at the best places if I had $2 million.
Yeah, I'd travel, like, I wouldn't backpack or anything. I'd, like, stay at nice places.
All right, the final question of the hot seat, which is one of my favorites. All right, so how many 5th graders do you think you could beat up if they're coming at you in waves of 10? So 10 5th graders are coming at you at one time. How many of them can you beat up?
Now, we discussed this on the
Do I
last
have weapons
episode.
or am I using my fists?
No.
You have
don't,
no
just your
weapons,
fist.
and there's also a twist that
your fist and your wit.
Yep, your fist and your wit, and then every 5 waves. So after you've knocked out 5 rounds,
So 50?
yeah. So after you've knocked out 50, a 7th grader shows up in the pack with a bat. So now you got to take on 10 and one 7th grader. So yeah, that's the final question on the hot seat.
I'm not much of a fighter. I like, I don't really, I've never been in a physical fight in real life, so I'm not really sure how I could throw it down, but I'd like to think I could at least beat up a couple of fifth graders. So I'd like to say I'd probably survive until round 3.
So you can
See,
be
my answer was
30 of
completely
them?
different. I told them that none of us would survive one round. You're talking about 10 little rabid animal kids coming after you that are half your size, so they're hitting your knees.
Yeah,
they're hitting
I probably
your crotch,
overestimated.
they're hitting everywhere. Yeah. I said that we would all get taken down first round.
I like
You
the
get the nut
confidence.
shot and it'll be over.
I like the
one nut shot
confidence, though.
yeah. I mean,
I don't have balls, so
no, you'd be okay with that part, but I mean, still, they're gonna be scratching and clawing
And
and
pulling your hair.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and little kids have really sharp fingernails.
Yes,
And they have nothing to lose. All they're doing is trying to go kill you.
Well, no, they're probably incentivized. Like, we'll give you a pack of M&Ms if you take her out, or something. So,
Wow,
yeah.
I looked up Nick Bateman. He's definitely a 10 out of 10 dude, Lies.
He really is, right?
Yeah, 6 million followers.
Well, you know what, Colby? I'm going to give you some props. There was actually some really insightful questions on there.
All right. Though let us also
I'm
burn
impressed.
through all of our terrible questions, so I'll have to write some more.
That was good, though. That was good.
Thank
I'm
you, guys.
impressed.
Thank you. Hot seat.
Wasn't
take-
as scary as I expected.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pull off some dumb shit. Like,
The only one I
say
was
some-
worried about was the DM one because I thought that might come across as a little too perverted as the first question. But hey, I went with it anyway. Why not?
I
don't understand
have
how
entire
guys
articles
can-
about my DMs, so I think
I don't understand what goes through a dude's head sending messages like that.
Do you
What
still get
is-
triggered, Laura, off of all those, or you just past the point of... You just,
I just barely respond anymore. Like
I've
yesterday
seen you in
morning.
the past get super triggered.
Well,
Well, she put him
I
on
mean-
blast. She put dudes'
Yeah,
dicks
that's
on
what I mean.
blast.
Okay, wrong word. Not triggered, but yeah, roasting
the
on
thing
blast.
is, most of the time, like when I put them on blast, it was like, I mean, it was partly because I kind of was like, okay, this guy needs to like learn a lesson, but also because it was funny.
Oh yeah, they're really
So
funny.
it was funny. So I mean, you know, a lot of the time I was, you know, there was times when I would, you know, just kind of get a bit overwhelmed and upset by it. But most of the time, you know, especially now, I'm just so over it. And especially now that we've had like the article go viral and it's been such a ongoing dialogue. Like these days I get a dick pic. I woke up yesterday and like opened my Twitter DMs and I had one of like the ugliest fucking dick pics I've ever seen. And I was just like, I just don't have the energy to even respond. I just
You just let out a big sigh and close it.
Just
huh?
like
I want to
eye
know.
roll.
Yeah,
Block
I want to
another
know
one.
what a guy thinks is gonna like. What's the best case scenario when sending a dick pic? Like, I think that's the dumbest strategy.
Exactly.
There is no best case scenario. Like I always try to explain to people, dick pics are fine if it's between two consenting adults. Like, if it's a guy that I'm into and, like, we're kind of flirting and stuff and, like, we're sexting and I send a picture, then fine, send a dick pic. But when it's, like, some random dude that I've literally never spoken to and was not aware of his existence prior to him sending me a graphic picture of his genitals, it's just like, bro, what are you trying to do?
It's violating.
I just feel like
in
at
a
this
way.
point there's been so much dialogue from women about how we don't like it. I don't understand how there's still guys going out there going, well, maybe she's going to like this one.
I just
Just
don't.
more.
I don't get what you
Let me
think's gonna happen.
let me
That's
do
dumb.
it from a different angle.
Yeah,
Maybe
my
I didn't
dick,
get
my
the
dick's,
lighting
my
right.
dick's different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's up there.
My
Hashtag-
dick's not like all the other dicks.
Hashtag my dick's different.
My dick's
That's-
different.
Okay, I've got one quick topic I want to talk about before we get into our life advice subject, and it's something that I've been covering quite often. And Colby, I know you guys have posted some stuff. It's about social media trends that are, I mean, the only word I can come up with is dangerous. I mean, we've got the one where the kids, or a lot of kids, they'll dislocate their thumb. They'll actually like rip a ligament in it and put pictures of it up there. We've got the salt and ice, which is old. We tried that when I was a kid, but now it's obviously on YouTube and social media, and kids are getting burned going to the hospital.
And the hand cell
And
porn.
the other one that comes to mind is the sanitizer one. And this was a YouTube video by a guy I know, and it may not have been his video. It was his girlfriend that stemmed the kid getting hurt. But basically, they put hand sanitizer all over your hand. It creates a barrier, and then you light your hand on fire because it's flammable. And a kid did it, and it got really, really, really badly burned and put in the hospital. So I guess
He was
I
like
just wanted to
9, wasn't he? Only like 9
yeah,
years old.
it was really, yeah. I mean, we're talking about very influenced kids that see their favorite creator or their favorite social media person doing these things, and they go try to do it and they get hurt or even worse. So I guess my question to you guys is, have you guys seen anything like this? What do you think about it? I mean, what do you think about the connection of, because everybody here has followers, social media followers, YouTube followers, and me personally, I feel like I have somewhat of a sense of responsibility to them on conveying the right message of stuff, and I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it.
People are so fucking stupid.
Hold on now. We're talking about kids. We're talking. I'm talking
well, they do
about,
they do it for attention, like they do everything else on social media.
But if they see Joe Blow doing it, let's just say Minnesota Burns back in your prime on YouTube, you had a shit ton of fans, and let's just say you went on Twitter and you cut yourself, and then you got 100 kids that said, "Well, Burns did it."
That's what they did for Bieber.
Cool.
Cut for Bieber.
Yeah, it must be cool, so I'm going to do it. So they go doing it just for the sole fact of recognition from you, or
that's
you
what
did
I said.
it.
They want attention.
I think it's a 50-50. I think if a creator is going out there and they're doing something with like the attention, or I think it's the word's attention, to bring more attention to it, like cutting, or like the soap or the hand sanitizer one was probably at the line for me. Like, you probably shouldn't have posted that one. But if it's just like, if Burns didn't do anything specifically and he just like said something and then he's getting 10 or 15 people sending him messages of them people cutting this, I think that's where people are just stupid. Like, they want his attention so bad, or they want but girls were literally cutting their hair for Justin Bieber because 4chan's made it seem like he had cancer. And they created all these fake articles, and people just did it.
A lot of that came from 4chan.
It's just like, oh man.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know. I'm kind of, I feel like I can't really weigh in too heavily on this without, I guess, coming across as slightly hypocritical, just because I do get a lot of shit from people saying I'm a bad role model when I don't personally think I do anything wrong, and I'm not, like, yes, I have a lot of followers, but at the same time, I'm kind of not asking to be anybody's role model, but I do get a lot of shit from people being like, you're a bad role model because you have fake tits and because you get lip injections, you're fake, you're plastic, what kind of example are you setting for young girls? And I'm like, well, it's not my responsibility to do things with my life that aren't what I want to do just because some people that I never asked to look up to me might. So I feel like it's kind of an extension of that. Like, I'm not doing necessarily stupid shit like setting my hand on fire, but a lot of people do consider things like, cosmetic surgery to be stupid shit and to be bad for society or whatever. So because I'm someone who always gets told I'm a bad role model, and because I, pose in my underwear and I post what people consider, slutty pictures, I guess, I can't really say that other people shouldn't be doing stuff when I personally, I don't think that I shouldn't be a role model for anybody. Like, I'm a mess, but
a potato.
Yeah, I'm a potato. I shouldn't be.
Potato.
Yeah, I shouldn't be anyone's role model. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't think that I could say, I don't think that creators should be doing that, when a lot of people think that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing for the same reasons. So,
but then again, there's that balance of, are you doing it for financial gain, or are you just doing it as a window into your life that if people choose to watch, they can? Because if you look at let's just take a YouTube video, for instance, with the lighting a hand on fire. That's done for financial gain. That's a monetized video. It's being put out there to go viral to make money off of. Okay?
It's done for the sole intention of, I want people to watch this.
Yes. And on the other hand, like you said, if they're living vicariously through you and it's an open kind of window into your life, and I'm not saying you don't monetize through other ways, like if you Twitch stream, of course you're going to tell your followers you're Twitch streaming, but in the case of focused trends like that, I think there's a there's no gray area. I mean, it's either like you said, it's the sole intention of going viral to make money, or it's, well, you can look into my life. This is what I do. I may not be a role model to you, but it's how I live.
Do you know what the most terrifying viral videos are? Are those guys that go on those high rises with no equipment
Well, did you
They
see the one the
actually
other
make
day?
me feel physically ill. I can't watch them.
I
like
can't
they actually
watch it. It makes me sick.
Yeah,
I
those
talked
ones
about
are
one
crazy.
the other day where he misjudged it, and he missed the pool, and he snapped both of his feet at his ankles.
I mean, these
Oh
people
my
are like
God.
thousands of feet above the
Yeah.
ground, hanging from a high rise. And they're not just hanging there; they're doing like backflips on these beams.
Or like pull
Dude,
ups.
Yeah.
the guy that climbed the London Bridge last week, whatever. I talked about this guy because this poor guy. All right, he climbs this. I call it the London Bridge. It was in London. I don't know what bridge it was, but he's up there, and his GoPro dies, so he only gets like 10 seconds of footage. And then I go to his YouTube channel, and this dude, the cops came, everything. He obviously risked his life, and he had like 1,500 views. And I'm like, this
Damn.
poor guy. If you're gonna do this, I mean, you at least
make
want
sure
this
you
shit to
charge
go
your
viral.
GoPro.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
doubt. And his GoPro died, so I don't know. Everybody thinks different, I guess.
It's one of those
With
things
that
where it
being
doesn't happen
said-
unless it's filmed.
Yeah. With that being said, that segues us into thinking different, and this is kind of the part of the show that people kind of hang around for. They really seem to be enjoying the life advice. I'm seeing tweets and comments all the time. So, Burns, you guys can email us. You can tweet us. You can send a comment with your life advice questions. We've got an email in the description, or we grab them from Twitter, and we even featured one on the last episode of a guy that did a live video question. So,
Yeah,
if
pretty
you
good
happen to
question,
do
too.
that and it may make it in the show.
Yeah, we are your 100% qualified therapist here
Bullshit.
on PTFO. No, it's not bullshit at all. It's an entirely made-up profession.
Yeah, that's it. I had to put a disclaimer somewhere in here. What's the first?
Yeah, we're not
Question.
responsible for any actions you may take
Thank
on the
you.
advice you hear in this show.
Thank you.
All right, so this first one, I think it might be a troll, but I just want to ask it just in case because I think it's an important question, and maybe Laura can help this guy out. It says, "I'm 19 and I live in Salt Lake City." So Colby,
Yeah, baby.
Mormons.
Let's go.
Mormons.
He's a Mormon. He's a Mormon.
Yeah, I was
He's
going
a
to say
Mormon.
that's Mormon
He's a
territory.
Mormon, so he's hasn't been allowed to explore his sexuality. So that's why I think this might be weird. He says every time he goes outside to grab his mail, he sees a 70-year-old lady checking him out. Do you think I should go after her? He's into grannies, and she doesn't have any teeth, so he thinks maybe she gives good head.
Hey, does he have a name?
Kevin.
Kevin. So we're going to pretend that it's not a troll email. We're going to assume
Yeah, I
it's
was
real.
going to say we'll ignore that and say Kevin's a real person and he really is chasing a Utah grandma. So
And he's 19, so he's
19.
He's a consenting adult, I guess.
Yep.
And he's chasing a gilf. He's going for the
I
gilf.
mean, that could be one that you could check off your bucket list if that's on your bucket list, and a story you could tell people down the road. I really don't see the harm. I mean, usually I'm the really conservative one when it comes to these answers, but go for it, Kevin. Why not?
two consenting adults, I think,
Yeah.
get it in.
Yeah, all the check marks are there. There's nothing illegal here.
You know what?
mean,
I think Kevin needs to step his game up because the only person he can go after is a granny. He needs to do something
Well,
else.
hold on.
man.
Kevin may
Nah,
be thinking of all
he's-
those myths you hear about, like older they take out their dentures.
Dude, she's experienced
More
as fuck, man.
experience.
Yeah.
She's gonna show him a crazy time.
You guys ever seen the movie Grandma's Boy?
I just
have.
keep thinking of
That's
the quote.
like-
I don't know why it comes to mind, but it's the whole older the berry, sweeter the juice thing. I don't know.
Ew.
I mean, I don't know what it's gonna be like because it's gonna be a little dusty in there. Might be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. But she doesn't have any teeth, so the head could definitely be good.
There's a
I say-
50-50 shot that she's a super freak.
Yeah, you gotta go for it.
If she's checking him out already, I'm gonna go.
I think
100%.
if she's like kind of giving off the signals, then I reckon she gets down.
Maybe
Yeah,
he should
definitely
send
Kevin. Fall if this is real. Take our advice.
Do
'cause
it
we
for
all
us,
agree
Kevin.
on it, which is the first time ever, and give us a follow up. We want a selfie of
We
you.
do want a
Please do it
selfie
for
with
us.
you
Mrs.
and Grandma.
Doubtfire. Yeah.
Selfie is going to be necessary, Kevin, if you're not trolling us. All right,
Picture didn't happen.
this next one. Usually we get a lot of sex questions. This one's not about sex. It's about
What?
drugs. Now this one's
Okay.
about drugs, so still exciting. He says, my friend or ex-best friend has started using cocaine, and I'm scared it will kill him. What do I do? Do I tell the administration at the school, or go straight to the dad?
Oh, don't
Nobody
be a
did.
narc. Don't be a
What's
narc.
Does he have a name?
His name is Robert.
How did he say how old he was?
No, he didn't. But
He said
says,
school, so let's assume
school
high school.
administration. Let's assume high school. I say you got to find out where he's getting this from and then throw a party. Throw the best high school party you can think of.
Come on, man.
No, Bert,
Seriously.
Burns has a call. He's not done yet. There could be a twist here.
There's not really a twist. I mean, everyone in high school is usually just experimenting with marijuana. This guy is jumping up the ladder here.
Yeah,
he's
definitely gatewaying himself.
He's gatewaying.
Okay, disregard everything Burns just said, and no, yeah, I mean, and even Laura said, "Don't be a narc." Come on, guys. I mean, he's trying to look out for the safety and well-being of one of his friends here, and his friend is dabbling in something that could absolutely obliterate his life, and he's not even out of high school.
A little cocaine never hurt anybody.
He's just experimenting, Jimmy.
Okay, hold on. Well, here, I can't speak from experience because I've never tried cocaine. So, anybody want to step up and tell me why it can't hurt?
No comment.
Come on.
No comment.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
Plead the fifth.
So, what was his name again?
Robert.
Just
Hey, look,
you
I'm
got
still
two
alive,
choices,
so-
buddy. You got
I hear
two
it's a hell of a
choices.
drug, though.
Cocaine is a
One-
hell of a drug.
One, you could either, like you said, go tell administration, and yes, it sounds like you're narking, but in the end, maybe this dude thanks you 5 years down the road when he's not dead. Or the other one is you just cut your ties and you get away from it because
But how much coke does he
That
know
shit's
this dude's got?
napalm, man.
What if he's selling it? Now you just put him in jail.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. So let's just say we're taking Jimmy's route here, and we're gonna have to go either dad route or school route. I say you go dad route because
No. You have a third option.
agree.
You can just not talk. You can just take yourself out.
Oh,
of the
I'm saying
situation.
No,
you
he
have
can
to do one of the two.
Can he talk to him himself though?
Well, I thought
I
that
would
was
go
my
dad
first one.
before school.
I do
would
dad before
definitely-
school too because you might f him worse if you do school.
Okay, I agree.
If
I agree.
If you
Dad
go to the
before
school, like, you potentially get him thrown out of school and fuck up his life even more. So let's say this kid if it is a high school kid using hard drugs, like, I'm not someone who's adverse to partying. I would be, I can't say that. But in high
Right.
school, no. So I think, if it is someone who's using hard drugs in high school, you shouldn't talk to, if he's troubled, getting him kicked out of school is only going to make it worse. So
Right.
I think go to the dad. If you're genuinely concerned, then I would speak to his parents before I would speak to the school.
Agreed.
I'm kind of hoping the dad is the partying dad in this scenario. And
He's the one supplying.
No,
the
you want to
go.
know the
wants to
twist?
know-
You want to know the twist? The dad's a supplier.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
He's like,
His dad's a partier in this scenario for me. It's gonna escalate.
Have a fucking party. Burns, what's the next question?
oh man, we give the best advice.
Well, no, Kyle, I'll speak for him. He would have been like, bump that shit.
He
I
would
mean,
have
I can
said-
imagine.
Get your whole high school hooked, bro.
Yeah, exactly. All right. No, he would have said, you're a pussy if you don't. That's what he would have said.
Yeah.
Or gay. He's
All right.
somehow gay.
Well, Kyle's not wrong, so
What's the next question?
I agree with Kyle on that. This one has some more to do with dating. It says he's 23 years old, doesn't have a name. He says he's been struggling with women the last 2 to 3 years. He's 23 years old. His past 4 dates have been shit. His latest date, he went to a movie, and before the movie started, she went to the restroom and never returned.
oh shit.
Oh, man.
And,
It's because he didn't send her a dick pic before the date.
I
Okay.
guess not. He doesn't know what he's doing wrong. Maybe he's giving the creep vibe out. He's trying to be the nice guy.
Okay,
I think the movie date is a bad idea.
I was about to say
before
the
we
same thing.
answer, no. Before we answer, put yourself in this dude. That has to be
That's
a
brutal.
major shot across the bow to an ego.
That's fucking brutal.
That's really, really.
But he made a
rough.
mistake. The mistake he made is if this is a first date, never go to a movie.
Agreed.
Where do you go?
Terrible
Movie
idea.
dates are terrible because you can't talk. You just sit there in silence. Like,
So
maybe-
what's a good first date option?
The
Laura?
way I
a
saw
bar.
Yeah, the
or
way I
No. Oh, okay. He is 23. Okay.
Yeah, but
All right.
the way I think this went is it said he picked her up and they were doing a movie date, so maybe like when you first meet someone, you're pretty much decide if you're attracted to him or not. So maybe she wasn't attracted to him and the movie date's an easy out. She can just say she's going to the restroom. I mean, I guess
So
you
he
could do
never
that.
got a chance to put the charm on.
I guess you could do it. I
verbally
guess you
or-
could do it in a bar, but it's a little bit more difficult because they
That's
could see
still
you.
no, that's still rude though. Like,
Yeah.
I went on 2 dates last week, and one of the guys, like, he was nice. It was fine, but I kind of knew right from the start. Like, I was like, there's not going to be a second date. Like, this guy is not the right person for me. But
you don't take off running.
No, I stayed and had a few drinks with him, and then I stayed for a couple of hours, and I had a pleasant time. Like, it wasn't horrible. I just kind of was like, okay, this guy's really boring. Like, it's not going to be a thing. He kind of turned into a dick at the end when I wouldn't go home with him, and that ruined it. And I was like, okay, well, he was an asshole anyway. But yeah, I would never, like, unless, like, the only time I would, like, run out on a date like that is if the guy was really horrible. Like, if he was being a fucking jerk and, like, I don't know, saying some, like, racist, homophobic shit at the dinner table, then I might be like, I'm gonna go. But I think I would only, like, sneak out like that if I was actually genuinely scared for my safety.
I heard
so we have to know, is he putting off a creep vibe to that thing, or was she just
I don't know. I would only kind of leave if I was like, okay, I feel like this could be a situation that might end badly. So otherwise I wouldn't just, like, fucking bounce into the bathroom and go. Like, that's pretty shitty on her behalf. But again, we don't know what he was doing, so.
Sure. Well, let's give him some productive.
He's got to switch the first date up.
So first date doesn't need to be a movie theater. Maybe you need to be, I don't know. He could either be, like, really, really super shy. It doesn't sound like he's the aggressive, like, alpha male type. I mean, it sounds like the opposite.
Yeah, if he's saying he's trying to be the nice guy, then he, might be, I don't know.
Maybe he needs to sack up a little bit and be, like, a different, try to be that alpha male. I don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
Like I said before, just make it a bar date and get there an hour early and get wasted. Yeah, it'll open you up a little bit. Mm-hmm. It'll open you up a little bit.
Alcohol definitely helps. My favorite first dates are either just at, like, a quiet, like, kind of chill, cool cocktail bar, or, like, a nice sushi restaurant. Because sushi is, like, a good first date dinner because it's, like,
that's a good idea.
It's easy to eat. It's light. It's like, you don't want to go somewhere where you're worried that you're going to, like, drop food all over yourself and, like, look like a fucking pig.
Well, so sushi, 100-foot all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like a
sushi,
full pizza,
chicken pizza, ribs.
Or you could keep it light. You could just do a date and go for, like, coffee, and that opens up chances to do other stuff if it goes well. You can date.
Coffee is good during the day.
Or you could just invite him to your house like Burns did.
Yeah, you can just invite him to your house and get right to it. That'll be a mistake.
Skip the formalities.
Make sure you send more dick pics.
We're gonna stick with the answer. I think it's pretty. I think we all are in agreement that you need to switch up your strategy on where you go for that first date. I would still try to be the nice guy. There's nothing wrong with trying to be the nice guy. I mean, maybe every girl won't like it, but you'll
I've never had a problem with being the nice guy because that's just. You should just be who you are, and if you're being too shy, just like Burns said from episode 1, take some shots.
I think the problem some guys have with being the nice guy is a lot of the time it's not genuine, and they're trying too hard to be nice. Like, just be chill. You don't have to be overly nice. I went on a date with a guy once who was so overly nice that oh my God, I did have to call a friend to get me to get out of there.
Yeah, so you have been in that situation.
It has happened to me, and this was literally just a hiking date. Like, we went and did Runyon together, like this hiking trail. And this guy, like, the whole time, he was just like, oh my God, Laura, you're so funny. Laura, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, Laura, you're so funny. Oh my God, Laura. He just kept saying my name, and I'm like, wow, this is actually making me uncomfortable. Like, I know that you're supposed to, like, say a person's name when you're trying to, like, engage in conversation, but he was saying it in every sentence. And just, he was so over the top with the compliments, and I was like,
it turned into a creep vibe.
This is too much. Like, this guy is creeping me out because it was just constant. Oh my God, Laura, you're so funny. Oh my God, Laura, you're so beautiful. Wow,
so
Laura, you're so
man,
smart.
If that's what you did, there you go.
Yeah, that's why you blew it, dude.
Don't come on too strong with the, like, just be chill. That's the best advice I can give you. Just be fucking chill. Just be like, hey, man, like, it's cool, whatever. Like, just be chill.
No, you got to get a little bit drunk, though. I think that helps you yourself a little bit more if you're nervous.
A little bit drunk and wasted are two different things. If he gets wasted, he's probably going to act an ass. So chill with one good power shot in you or something.
Yeah, you just need something to take the edge off.
Casual drink.
Maybe a little bump of cocaine. Doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, talk to the guy from the first story.
Ask the guy from before.
Yeah, talk to Kevin.
Those two guys need to connect and get the cocaine.
And that's where we're going to stop the show, guys. Hope you enjoyed. No, seriously, this is the end of the show. I want to, one more time really quick, thank Laura for coming on. And The invite is always open for you to come on. It's a way different vibe, like I said, than in the past. It's more of a talk show, radio, just
I like
shoot
it.
the shit back and forth and talk about random stuff. But we appreciate you coming on. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we all agreed that you should be the first guest. And it went well. I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Make sure you leave a review on iTunes. That's important.
Yep.
We need it.
5 stars on iTunes. And once again, if you guys want to watch it or listen, we have it. We disperse it among Facebook, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes. More probably coming, more platforms, but
make sure you tell
their certain thing.
Make sure you tell everyone your Twitch too, so they can go watch you on Twitch tonight or whenever this plays.
It's
absolutely.
It's DJ Laura Lux.
Jimmy will find a way to put it in there.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. We'll put her Twitter as well. I know she's active over there. And if you guys want to see her back in a future show, let us know. And that's it. We're out of here.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening, people.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the PTFO podcast. If you enjoyed the show and are watching on iTunes, please leave a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like button and leave a friendly comment below. This show is also available on Spotify, Google Play, and Facebook. If there is a topic you would like us to discuss in a future show, or you just want to reach out to us for advice on life's everyday struggles, you can reach out to us with the contact information available down below. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you back every Wednesday and Sunday for a new show. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll see you later.